we are back. We're gonna do up for like half an hour. Actually 40 minutes. Okay, here we are. This is the epilogue apparently. So, let's get right into it. Hey. You listening? Gym up. Oh, come on. What's wrong with you? You're making me depressed. This is why I warned you not to get attached to her so much. Robots are robots. Humans are humans. You were hurt because you couldn't tell the two apart. You crossed the line. Line that wasn't meant to be crossed. And I made it so clear for you too. I warned you that you'll be the only one hurt in the end. Nah, really. How foolish of you. I remained silent. I have nothing to say. Well, now that I think about it, maybe this turned out to be a pretty good experience for you after all. Dude, can you just shut the fuck up? I raised my head up to look at him, probably about to punch him. The fact that he finally learned the lesson makes it all worth it, I think. May have been a harsh lesson, but wasn't there some merit to it? No better did. Should know this better than anyone else. Fuck you. And then I started turning left properly. Fuck you? There are a lot more interesting things in life than androids. So let's go find out what's in store for us. Because to be honest, we got a huge chunk of our lives just to study, right? Time for us to catch up on all the fun stuff. How about you give me an example? Alright. First, we should try to get to know some girls. You sound as if you haven't been trying. That's just mean. Anyway, there are always women out there who are more attractive than Lucy. And of course, women with better figures too. Although, you won't be dealing with a robot, there must be someone who's as nice as Lucy. With a woman like that, you should try getting into a serious relationship. And go traveling to all kinds of different places together. And make lots of special memories. That's why all fun things we've missed out on. Eventually, they'll be able to move on from this incident. Well, doesn't it sound exciting? Doesn't sound like what a person with the ACT coming up in the next couple of days would say. I guess that's true. But whatever, we're both responsible people. And on top of that, studying should not be your biggest concern right now. Gives me a poke on my chest, in my head in confusion. Doing this place right here isn't our top priority. Yeah. Might be good to go out and enjoy myself from time to time. Yeah? You're excited too, right? I'm telling you, things will definitely pick up from now on. Just trust me and look forward to it. So, come on, cheer up. Brush off the dust and get back up. To those words I gave a small nod. Genuinely appreciated him going this far to cheer me up, and at the same time, fuck you. And now the guy with almost the same voice as Dr. Gears, but make it Australian. Oi mate, oi mate, hey mate. Man, you look left down to hell and back. I'm sorry. About what? Couldn't keep my promise. Before I said I would take good care of her. Huh? And I was wondering what you were going on about. Not something you should be apologizing to me about, is it? That's the point. And just in case there's any hope left inside of ya, I'll make it clear again. A body, and memory chips, and everything else were completely destroyed in the fire. This isn't something even I can handle. I'm waving the white flag. He's a goner. Even if you went to the genius who made Lucy, you probably wouldn't be able to fix her up. I know. Alright, as long as you understand. There's a moment of calm. The atmosphere is heavy with silence. Can I ask you something? What is it? Do you regret it? Regret it? Yeah. About finding out about Lucy. Do you regret it? Ponder for a moment. But knowing that it would end like this, maybe it would have been better not to have met Lucy at all. If I'd never found out about her existence, if I'd never picked up Junket in the first place, maybe I could have been much happier. I try to place myself in a different scenario. I don't regret it. Not a single bit. So, let me get from his POV. Let me get into him real quick. He is an idiot student who has been keeping peace with his father too long and stuff like that. And he needed some change in his life anyway because he was literally going nowhere in life. Funny of me to say that, isn't it? But in the end, I don't regret it. It was definitely worth it. I only regret the things I didn't do while we had her, like killing our father. And killing our father. And killing our father. But otherwise, I don't regret it. Laughter suddenly escapes my mouth. Without hesitation, I reply to the repairman's question. I don't particularly regret it, and I don't plan on doing so in the future. Nah, see. The repairman quietly stares at me for a good long while. Anyway, I've been short on hands around here lately. Short on hands? Yeah, would you ever consider working here? Can't afford to pay you that much, but if you're alright with that, I'm willing to take you in. You can build up some work experience. I'll teach you a lot of things. It'll be tough to find someone as skilled as I am, you know? So, how about it? Normally I wouldn't be inclined to take up such an offer, but now, things were different. Well? Working here doesn't sound particularly bad. I'll be sure to think it over. That said, I headed towards the exit. I mean, you can learn about androids, so that's something. Cat caller? I opened the door and stepped outside. I was immediately greeted by the chilled wind of autumn. While zipping up my jacket, I looked up towards the sky, spotted a glint of sunlight shining through the cracks between the clouds. For some reason, I found the spectacle mesmerizing. It was truly breathtaking, even on this cold day. Sure, Lucy would have loved to see the sight. Just thinking about it made me laugh. Is this the end then? Yep, this is the true ending, yeah. Well, fuck you, Dr. Gears Repairman. Thanks for taking me on. And also, everything I forgot burned. Her memory chip, her body. The only thing I would have been curious to see, now it is over, but I was wondering if he would have visited the factory and tried to find the creator of Lucy. That's the only thing that was left to do, which I feel like is maybe a missed opportunity. But otherwise I feel pretty fine. Also still a shitty ending. But hey, we knew it's gonna be a drama anyway, so extra unlocked an old man's wish. So yeah. That's the end of the game, but is it? Not even play the game, but you can play the extra. What is happening? Data memory stored October 12th. The fuck? No. An old man's wish. I feel like there's some more extra content. Let's check it out. His father's bedroom? It was early morning. The chirping of birds could be heard through the window. The old man, who was a light sleeper, slowly opened his eyes. Lazily sitting up in bed, he scowled at the almost blinding sunlight. Then he slowly rose, walked over to the windows, and closed the curtains. As the curtains came to a halt, everything became quieter as he had muted the television. Darkness engulfed the 16 square meter sized room. Even after opening his eyes, the old man continued to sit on his bed, staring into empty space. It appeared he hadn't fully woken up yet. "Pardon my intrusion," was a sudden knock at the door, followed by a feminine voice, oddly devoid of emotion, which caused the old man to snap out of his trance. The old man slowly moved his gaze towards the entrance of the room with an indifferent stare. A woman young enough to be his granddaughter made an appearance at the door. "Breakfast is ready." The words lacked the kindness expected in such a familial relationship. The former, rigid manner was reminiscent of how an employee would address a superior. "Bring it here." Obeying the old man's order, she quietly entered the room. "Gotta be Lucy and Dad." Whoa, holy shit! That is not Lucy, that is Pim 023. Alright, maybe I can give him a deeper voice. Not bad. Not bad. Anyway, she placed the food upon a fold-up table beside his bed. It was a light meal consisting of toast with scrambled eggs and bacon, and a lovely salad containing a wide variety of vegetables served with coffee. Instead of expressing gratitude for bringing his meal or giving a morning greeting, the old man decided to say something else. "What time is it?" "Currently 6:12 a.m. Master's woken up 4 minutes later than average this month." Her voice sounded noticeably unnatural and dull, yet the old man did not seem to mind. Lifting his cup of coffee from the table, he took a sip. The balance between the amount of coffee mix and water was nothing short of perfect. He was aware of how the old man preferred his coffee, and had been providing the same coffee every day, without fail. It's not just the coffee. The breakfast laid out for the old man was also the result of a carefully calculated balance between his tastes and required nutrient intake. Silveroids. The androids are specifically catered to the elderly. The changes in society and advancements in technology, additional family duties are becoming outdated. Nowadays it's rare to see people taking care of their aging parents themselves. Instead, they would give them a premium silveroid, the designated caretaker. Kind of depressing, isn't it? Like, we don't want to... It's like, we don't want anything to do with you anymore. Here, take this bot. They are supposed to take care of you from now on. It's kind of weird, isn't it? The old man once more skimmed through the newspaper article he read a few days ago. It said that the gratitude of the offspring correlates to advance of a silveroid model is sent to the parents. The one in front of him was a Pim series model, undoubtedly considered one of the best out there. "Master?" Seeing that the old man had stopped moving, the android voiced a concern. From those words, the old man awoke from his daydream and proceeded to carry on a piece of toast to his mouth. Or cutting down the familiar Christmas, grand reminiscence about the past. Now that I think about it, it's been quite a while since I first arrived here. Wasn't any visible reaction from the android. She continued to stare into the air while maintaining a rigid posture. How long has it been since your arrival? It's been exactly 10 years. Jesus. I was about to say 10 days, 10 years. It's a little bit longer. Just a little bit. I see. I'm sure flies. Damn. Are we sure he's not able to take care of himself? Or, I mean, living 10 years? An elderly? I mean, depends on how elderly, like, what is your condition you're in, I guess, but... it's whatever. She was the present, his son. They was bought for his birthday after the old man retired from his work. Technically, the android in front of him was not the same model he received back then, but an upgraded version of it. Whenever the old man's birthday neared, Son would religiously send a new revision of the model. Then the memory chip from the previous version would be inserted into the new one. Silverwood has gone for 6 upgrades so far. Apparently many new features were added with each successive generation, yet the old man had difficulty understanding the subtle variations. The unfamiliarity of the new models only made him feel uncomfortable. Master? From my repeated calls of Master, the old man shifted his focus back to the meal. It's nothing. Could it be that Master is not feeling well? When people get old, they naturally turn sentimental. Can't be helped. Letting out a small sigh. The old man placed a trembling hand on his forehead. Old memories just keep coming back to me, even when I'm only trying to rest. Does Master mean good memories? Yeah, there are some good ones. Good or bad, they all come back though. Damn, I'm not even an elderly and I already know that feeling. Yep. I had a feeling that this old man, because of the housing and everything, would be us. Well, apparently we got really fucking old, didn't we? I'm still thinking about Lucy. That's good. She was an android he once had actively rejected, but being left alone after recent divorce had somewhat altered his views. An old man who had only paid attention to work in his life, it's obvious that he wouldn't be able to handle the housework on his own. He tried hiring live-in housekeepers, but found the arrangement too uncomfortable, as it wasn't in his preference to live together with someone unfamiliar. After he had experienced numerous failures, he finally decided to try it. So maybe it's still father, maybe it's father. Actually, maybe I was on the wrong trail there for a second. I was thinking father originally. I went to son, now I'm back to father. Who are we? Still had a lot of trouble with the robot at first. She nitpicked about the smallest things and ambushed him in the washroom every day with her examinations and whatnot. The first year was very stressful for him. However, humans are adaptive creatures. With time, he eventually adjusted to a routine, keeping his complaints down to a minimum. In fact, he had become so dependent upon the convenience of having an android, the old man wasn't sure if he would ever be able to survive without one. I have to get up now. Take this away. The android put on a puzzled expression as the old man weakly set down his fork. Master is finished? The master has not yet met the recommended nutrient intake. I don't feel too hungry today. Then, just to be safe, today's morning examination will have to be more extensive than usual. Expect nothing out of the ordinary, but there's nothing wrong with being cautious. How am I supposed to find time for that? I have to go open my shop. The old man rose as he stubbornly replied. Master must not avoid the examination entirely. Master insists, I will do my best to get through it as quick as possible. The old man clicked his tongue in annoyance. Only a few years ago, Couldn't have gotten furious in a similar situation, but was used to it now. So shaking his head, all he did was quietly stare at the android approaching him. After the examination, the old man made some preparations to leave and headed towards the front door. The android set aside the chores she had been doing and approached the old man. "Will Master be leaving now?" "Yes." The old man went through his usual routine, but today, the android appeared to be a little tense. The moment of hesitation, he carefully spoke up. "Master." "What is it?" "I think maybe Master should avoid going to work today." "And why is that?" "It's been confirmed that Master isn't in a very good condition. Please consider taking a day off." Those were the results from the examination he'd taken in the washroom moments ago. It's true that his body felt heavy when he woke up. It seemed that he had caught a cold, yet the old man dismissed the silvered concern with a snort. "I'm just this. I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me." The android stopped the old man, who was preparing to leave once more. He was persistent in her attempt to get her message across. Apparently, in case of emergencies, her typically meek personality was programmed to become more assertive. As mentioned, it's not necessary for Master to go to work. As mentioned, it's not necessary for Master to go to work today. It's fine if Master leaves his door work to me and rests at home. No way. What if you get robbed or something? How are you planning to deal with that when you're not even allowed to hurt people? There are many ways to subdue people without inflicting bodily harm. There's also an alarm feature that will allow the police to arrive on the scene in less than 5 minutes. Stop talking nonsense and stay at home. Giving a home is safe as a job too. What if this place gets robbed? Seemed like the android wanted to say something, but she eventually lowered her head. After giving her a look of disapproval, the old man left the house. Cigarettes? The place that the old man arrived at was found to be a tiny, ordinary supermarket. It was a business he started himself near his home after retiring. Being in the quieter areas of town, the business wasn't exactly booming, but at the very least, he'd always managed to earn enough to pay his expenses. It wasn't like the old man was hunting for cash flow. His lifetime savings was already enormous, and the monthly allowance from the son was nothing to scoff over at either. He spent the rest of his life without having to work or at all if he wanted to. Yet, he was the type of person who had focused on work all his life. Unlike others, he never bothered going on vacations or spending time abroad, mostly because he knew what to do with his free time. He wasn't flexible enough to try and find a new hobby at this stage of his life. Since he had thought about nothing but work all his life, all he could do was to find some more work, even after retirement. The store remained vacant even after its opening. Several regular customers stopped by as time passed, but the days still seemed especially quiet. Sometimes co-workers from the company used to work at the come visit the old man. He'd always been a little out of touch concerning family manners, but he was well respected at his workplace back in the day. Whenever they paid him a visit, the old man would reminisce about the past, share stories usually over drinks. But that seemed unlikely today. Inside the quiet store, the old man passed the time by cleaning and checking the inventory. Suddenly Lucy appears or something, I don't know. It was when a period of time had passed and the old man was sitting at the counter reading a newspaper, the usual hour, the android stopped by at the store. Is everything fine? The android offered a greeting with a dull voice of hers. She was carrying a large sack. But I knew that it was without needing to look inside. She placed the sack on the counter and proceeded to unwrap it. I've brought Master's lunch. The moment the old man caught a glimpse of the lunchbox, he let out a deep sigh. How many times have I told you, you don't need to bring me something like this? I can just get by with this stuff inside the store.
With all due respect, food inside the store is not healthy enough for Master. Please refrain from eating such undesirable products. I've received a specific order from Master's son that I should supervise and manage Master's diet. The old man became silent as the mention of his son, but he soon snatched the lunchbox away while letting out a loud snort. Then, as if he was trying to let out his anger, he hastily pried it open. The assortment of nutritious foods that he enjoyed was laid out before him. That bastard, pretending to worry so much, even while carrying the lukewarm food to his mouth and using a pair of chopsticks. The old man continued to complain. Taking all of that and not even bothering to show up once in a while. How ungrateful. That's why there's no point in having children, running off doing whatever they want and leaving the parents behind after growing up. The Antwoord tilted her modest-sized head in confusion. All due respect, Master was the one who told his son, whose paying Master visited for his birthday 2 years ago, to never show up again and kicked him out of the house. That's because he kept talking nonsense. Every word that came out of his mouth was driving me insane, so how could I not do anything about it? His voice began to rise. The Antwoord lowered her head without a word. She appeared to be waiting for the old man's anger to settle down. 2 years had passed since the old man and his last saw each other. The monthly allowances and the birthday presents flowed through an Antwoord. Those were the only connections remaining between them. The old man had always been on bad terms with his son. Whenever they met, they always ended up getting into a quarrel over something petty. It eventually led to a huge confrontation on his birthday 3 years ago. The argument escalated until the old man, who had finally reached his breaking point, decided to kick his son out of his home. Since the incident, they hadn't had any direct contact in 2 years. The relationship had deteriorated to the point where they would only use the old man's silverwood to keep in touch. From the son's perspective, Master may have come across as exceedingly cruel. I've done nothing wrong. He had to return from overseas just to pay Master a visit, so perhaps it was insensitive of Master to drive him away only because of a minor argument. That's enough. This is nothing out of the ordinary. You should already know that. Even so, I feel that it has been going on for too long this time. Even after conflict, he always used to return the following holiday as if nothing had happened. Murder, the pain in the son's heart may be deeper than what Master believes. The old man did not reply. He'd also been worried all this time. He'd always argued with his son, yet he did silently admit that this latest conflict had lasted for longer than usual. For a moment he began to worry that his son couldn't visit because something bad had happened to him, but that was very unlikely. His son hadn't been doing well, Silverwood would have already notified him. I was thinking something is awful. It was proof that his son was doing fine. Master? What is it? Master stood moving his hand. Indeed, the old man had ceased moving his chopstick. Keeping his hand stationary, the old man posed a question. It wasn't something he would normally ask. What has my son been doing lately? He appears to be running a successful business. I heard that he has returned from his business trip overseas. I see, so he's in Korea at the moment. It was understandable why he couldn't pay a visit while overseas. But if he was presently in Korea, what was stopping him now? The old man continued to stare at his lunchbox with a pained look. The Antwoord spoke up once more with a mechanical voice. Master, food is getting cold. The old man closed the lid for his half-eaten lunchbox. I've lost my appetite. Master's not yet consumed the required amount of nutrients. Our Master has already skipped most of his breakfast. I said I've lost my appetite. How many times do I have to repeat myself? The old man slammed his chopsticks under the counter. The Antwoord silently continued to stare at him. The look in her eyes implied that she still had a few things left to say. Master is... What is it? You're going to speak up, at least finish your sentence. Following the old man's command, the Antwoord continued with a motionless voice. All due respect, I believe that Master has a tendency to get too angry with his son. I recommend that Master attempt to be more understanding of him. It was rare for the Antwoord to openly criticize him. Because he wasn't used to such treatment, he couldn't help but furrow his brow. The moment he lowered his voice and replied calmly, "Are you taking his side?" "I'm not taking anyone's side. I'm only advising that if Master wishes the situation with his son to improve, he must gain proper control over his emotions." "Do you really think I get mad just because I want to?" "Yeah. Of course not. But the stuff he spouts in front of me makes me lose my mind. It's his fault for being such an idiot. Isn't that because part of family?" "Just what are you talking about all of a sudden?" The android stared at the old man intently. She opened her mouth to speak as she shook her head back and forth in hesitation. Evidently, she wasn't feeling very confident. "The reason why Master gets so frustrated, isn't it because having a father-son bond causes one party to unconsciously accept something from the other and become frustrated when they don't follow through? Never see Master gets angry in front of other people." I'm an android. Therefore, I'm unable to properly gauge how these negative emotions are being formed inside Master. We do not have any unnecessary troublesome emotions programmed inside us after all. But what? Since I will never be able to experience such emotions, sometimes I find myself being envious of that side of humans. So pretty much what it did was, with the PIM model, they got rid of the emotions that Lucy had, which kind of sucks. What nonsense. Just for a moment the old man nearly forgot he was conversing with a machine. The android knew that the old man wanted the straightforward robotic version of her instead of the casual conversational one, so she rarely ever opened up to share thoughts like this. Such a candid display stirred up a memory deep within the masked past, nearly forgotten till now. "Now that I think about it, there was another android, quite similar to you," the old man quietly mumbled. "I barely remember when that was. It happened so long ago. My son once brought home a strange android. She was..." The old man closed his eyes in an attempt to come through the distant memories. Yep, it was Lucy. Yep, that proves that we're definitely the father. She was a little different from you. Yes. She really seemed like a real person, that one. A real person? Forgotten how she looked or sounded like. But one thing I remember is that she was very talkative. She'd always get ahead of herself, despite being only a robot. The android remained silent after the explanation, staring blankly at the Master. But my understanding is that Master prefers a less talkative, laid-back android companion. I do, that's why I hated that android. My son and I used to argue over it all the time. What did you do with her? What do you mean? Her eyes slightly narrowed. The android. What did you do with her? Well, I'm not sure. Did Master continue using it? That was so long ago. Don't recall what exactly happened. You burned it to the ground, you idiot. Only then the old man could finally remember his son's heartbroken expression. At the time he was certainly at his most rebellious. Even before then, the old man had never had a good relationship with his son. Afterwards, the conflicts appeared to escalate in intensity and frequency. The old man wondered whether an alternate, less confrontational approach might have worked out better. Yes, it would have, you fucking retarded idiot. 50 years later or something, when you're too old to do anything, you still don't know? Are you really that much of an asshole and dead in your brain? Fucking cunt. With the shake of his head, he dismissed the thought that he could be wrong. Fucking cunt. It would be pointless to dwell in the past. He had no intention to change either. The old man still despised the androids and he believed that he hadn't done anything wrong. Oh no shit, you fucking asshole. You did. How about making an apology? The old man's hands flinched a little, responded in anger.
Quit talking nonsense.
Oh, was it truly nonsense? The master would want his relationship with son to improve. Does master not want to make peace with him?
Stop it. How do you expect me to do such a thing?
Master. There was a bit of hesitation, but it only lasted for a very short moment. With a newly determined look, the android stared straight in the old man's eyes. I've served Master for a very long time, and I'm confident that I know more about Master than anyone else. More or less deduce what Master deems important in terms of values.
Just what are you blabbering about? You're acting quite strange today.
Isn't there something more important? Isn't there something more important than Master's pride? Isn't there something much more important than Master needs to consider? Instead of trying to save face, wouldn't it be vital to drop his stubbornness once and for all?
The old man did not budge. Without agreeing or disagreeing, he sat in silence. While maintaining her blank expression, the android continued.
Of course, I do realize such a task would be difficult to accomplish. But Master, I believe that sometimes it's important to swallow one's pride for the greater good.
The old man tore open one of the cigarette packs on the store display and lit one up. Typically, the android would have scolded him for such an unhealthy habit, but for some reason, he did not say anything this time. Tolling a cloud of smoke, the man sighed.
It will be Master's birthday soon. Instead of holding a social gathering with Master's acquaintances, may I recommend a private session with Master's son to spend some quality time together?
You sure are talkative today.
The android lowered her head. Perhaps this was her own unique way of apologizing. The old man exhaled another cloud of smoke.
Well,
suppose it wouldn't hurt to sit down and have a nice long chat with my son. The android raised her head to look down at the old man once more. Then I will make the preparations right away. Also, is it alright if I pay Master's son a visit and deliver the message in person this time? Although her voice sounded flat as usual, the old man could somehow sense a tinge of excitement coming from her. Is it really necessary that you go in person? To elaborate, the timing would coincide with the arrival of an android engineer for the annual model upgrade. Or it would be a good idea to go into the city and get the upgrade there while delivering the message. All of things will be inconvenient for Master during my leave. If that's better for you, then go ahead. I'll be fine around here. I understand. I will make the preparations to leave right away. Alright, good luck. Several days flew by since our conversation. The android had been busy creating a schedule all this time, especially making a lot of work into the day. When she was done, she bid farewell to the old man before she departed. I will be making my leave now. If everything goes as planned, I have to be back by the evening 2 days from today. It will be taking that long. The trip itself shouldn't take much time. I must cater to both Master's son and the android engineer's schedule. The time constraints, it appears they will have to meet up with the engineer for the upgrade first. What about my son? I will be seeing him on the last day of the scheduled trip. I'm planning to bring him back with the news of Master's birthday. Now, please take this. The android handed the old man a piece of paper. What's this? It's a list of popular restaurants nearby. Each one offers a unique birthday set menu. Listed the foods they offer in great detail. It should be more than enough to go around, but I'd like to recommend Master to add in some of his son's favorite foods. It's too much trouble. You can take care of the reservations and everything else, but I thought it would be better if Master personally chose the menu himself.
Alright, I'll take a look.
Squinting, the old man scanned for the sheet of paper. The text was in large font in consideration of the old man's vision, but he still had trouble reading it. It appeared that his eyesight had got even worse. He took out a magnifying glass from his pocket to ease his strain. Still, it was very thorough. It listed the menu and price comparison using critiques as well as accompanying photos. Rice cake, seaweed soup, assortment of veggies, crab soup, pork chops, beef rib stew, vegetable pancakes, and so forth. All the menus were very similar with little diversity. The android appeared to have sensed the old man's distress. Is there something Master needs help with? I just don't know. Don't know what, Master? What my son likes. Just can't figure it out. All I ever did was give him allowance money, thinking he'll go find something to eat on his own. This situation would have been that strange for others to judge him for not knowing what his own son liked, but he wasn't talking to a real person. The android quietly began writing something down on another sheet of paper and soon handed it over to the old man. But listing the foods that Master's son might enjoy, should mention that the data is more than 2 years old, so it might not be the most accurate. However, I do believe that it will serve as a good reference point. The old man slowly took the sheet of paper and couldn't bring himself to praise her for her efforts, mostly because he was shocked by the fact that the mere android knew more about his son than he did. Just thought boys like him would do fine growing up on their own. Master? Forget it, that will be all. You really think? Hey, me, as a father, not parenting my child is a good idea. Oh yeah, sure, idiot. And the old man was instantly enveloped by deafening silence. He could only hear the loud ticking of the clock, appearing as if he was having trouble getting used to the emptiness. The old man weakly made his way towards his bedroom. A day had passed since the android's departure. Is he dying? That would be perfect. Today was a day no different than any other, yet it felt far from normal for the old man. In the Silverwood's absence, the old man had to take over all of the chores, which was no walk in the park. Even the simplest tasks, such as cooking, were proving to be quite an effort. The old man found preparing the meal bothersome, so he decided to skip breakfast and headed straight to the store. Fucking lazy bitch. First hating on androids and not even being able to cook your own food? Fuck you. However, without food to sustain the old man, he quickly succumbed to fatigue. He also didn't have a proper lunch since there was no android to bring him food. Instead, he made do with a handful of rice balls from the store shelves. He set aside some time during work to make a reservation for his birthday meal. The old man chose the restaurant he thought the young people would prefer. He was notified that the delivery would be made tomorrow, around 5 p.m. A busy day of work, which felt much longer than usual, the old man dragged his tired body home. When the old man arrived home, he was too tired to cook up a proper meal. He ate a bunch of nearly expired snacks brought from the store. Afterwards, he neatly folded up and put away his clothes instead of leaving them lying around the house like he usually did. Leaving it too much effort to run a bath, he opted for a quick shower. Then he ran a laundry load through the washing machine and tidied up around the house. This was what the android had always done for the old man. He really didn't have the same amount of energy he used to have when he was young. He was no longer at an age where he would be able to do everything on his own. The old man began to feel thankful that he had someone that could take care of all the chores for him. Probably would have never felt this way if his body hadn't been so weak. What the old man had the most trouble adjusting to was this air of melancholy. Certainly his android wasn't the most outgoing. That was because she was instructed to keep everything simple and to the point. It was what the old man preferred. Even so, there was a lot of bustle while the Silverwood attended to the numerous household chores. The sound of soup boiling in the kitchen, clanking of dishes in the dishwasher, the humming of the running washing machine, and the vacuum cleaner. The house always used to be alive with activity. I was able to hear someone else's presence, but now there was nothing. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Only the sound of the clock rang in the stillness. It fact that the old man was doing everything on his own without anyone helping him, and the fact that there was no one to see him out when he went to work and greet him when he returned was unexpectedly tough on him. He realized just how much he relied on the android, and feel how much the silverboy he used to hate was being a help in many ways. Lying in bed with nothing to do, the old man tried to picture himself in his son's shoes when he was young. In a deathly quiet house, a $10 bill stacked on top of the kitchen table instead of a warm meal, the old man imagined his son picking them up with an unhappy look on his face. Imagine how his son would have felt being all alone at home while listening to the sound of that clock ticking away, while waiting for his parents to return late at night. Only then he would finally understand how that old android, whose name he had now forgotten, would have been such a big help to his son back then. They say people require less sleep as they age, yet the old man felt particularly restless that night. The end. Oh, please let me the end. I don't wanna go over this forever. Oh, geez, fuck. It's fucking 4:30 a.m. It's getting close to 5. I have so much. My back and everything. I'm going onto my knees right now. I'm just as old as the old man is. Today was a big day. In the evening, the android would return. The old man's son. The old man took a light shower. After brushing his teeth and combing his hair, he made his way towards the living room, feeling refreshed. It was a day off from his work, but he had other reasons to bustle about the house. Rather than standing around until the food arrived, the old man decided to occupy himself with some chores. First checked for any messy spots around the house. The house was clean. Since the android had always kept up with the chores, that was to be expected. There wasn't any work left for the old man to do. At the very least, he decided to change the kitchen tablecloth. He took away the aged, dusty, speckled one and laid out the fresh one of a sleek design. Then he poured out a pack of colored candles, which he never had any chance to use. He also took out an assortment of fruits and veggies from the fridge. Since the android had already peeled off all the skins and cut them into pleasing shapes, he just needed to give them the finishing touches. This should be good enough, the old man muttered to himself while viewing the table full of food. It was the house that the old man had lived in for as long as he could remember, but he'd never seen the place brighten up as much as today. What about how he never had many chances to sit down and eat with his family? So this time at least he wanted to savor a warm, intimate meal with his son. While rummaging about, the old man came across a room that hadn't been used for ages. Oh my god, it was the son's room. Oh, drinking the storage room with a wet. The room had remained vacant after his son moved out. Getting late, they might stay over for the night. The intention to clean the room, the old man opened the door. The old man found himself in shock. The room was so clean to the point that no one would believe it hadn't been used in years. The old man dragged his fingers across numerous surfaces, and a single speck of dust was to be seen. It appeared that the android had been cleaning their room every day. Had she been doing that just for the sake of cleaning the entire house? Or had she been anticipating the day his son would finally return? The old man could not tell. "5 o'clock in the afternoon, delivery arrived. Since he had numerous side dishes, it came out to be quite a large amount of food. It wasn't something 2 people would be able to finish, but that was alright. Could always save the leftovers for later. He transferred the delivered food onto dishes and bowls and set them on the table. The old man took all the dishes containing foods that his son might enjoy and placed them on his side of the table. He did not bother placing candles on top of the rice cake. It would be embarrassing to sing a birthday song and blow out candles at his age. Fiddled with the candle placements in an attempt to create the ideal atmosphere. Also prepared a bottle of fine wine that hadn't been opened for 10 years. Soon the old man's very special guest would be arriving. It's 7:15 in the evening. Could it be that he was running a little late? It was the time that the android had promised that the doorbell did not ring. The old man strove to be patient. After all, it had been 2 years since they last met. Waiting a few more hours wouldn't hurt. He tried to think up some topics he would be able to discuss with his son. He had no intention of ending this meal with a fight when it had been so long since he last ate with him. The old man did some rehearsals in his head about how he would start and carry the conversation. He reminded himself he would need to pay extra attention to his quick temper. But the son never came. Two hours passed in the blink of an eye. The clock now reads 9:25. The old man started to worry something had happened to his son. Considered giving him a call, but stopped himself. Decided to wait a little longer. After about 10 minutes, the doorbell that the old man had painstakingly been waiting for finally rang. Suppressing the urge to rush out, he slowly made his way towards the front door. Only the android, isn't it? Without the sun. The silhouette of a person entered the old man's vision as he opened the door. An unfamiliar woman was standing before him. With the help of the zero code embedded in her body, he was able to deduce that it was his android. This happened every year. He was just inside the new body. There was no need to be surprised. The android made a small bow towards the old man. "I've returned. How have things been? How come you were so late?" "There were some unexpected delays." "Okay, but..." The old man looked past the android, but there wasn't anyone else besides her. "Where's my son?" There was no reply. The old man anxiously inquired once more. "Where is my son?" "Unfortunately, he had other business to attend to. My apologies." Despite the silver's flat tone of voice, the gesture of deeply blowing head conveyed sincere remorse. "Is that so? My son's not coming, huh?" "I'm very sorry. It's all my fault." The android apologized once more. Lacking the energy to reply, the old man weakly hobbled back inside the house. The old man still lingered at the prepared table full of food. Much to his charging, he found it difficult to conceal his sadness from the android. first birthday meal I've prepared in a long time. Gone to complete waste now. I don't think I can finish this on my own. The android's head lowered even further. Perhaps she was feeling guilty. Not your fault. Couldn't be helped that he was busy. Raise your head. Actually, I've brought a letter from him. A letter? What's it about? The android shook her head from side to side. It appeared that she did not know herself. The old man sat up in his chair and prepared himself. Would you mind reading it for me? My eyesight is quite poor. The android nodded and took out the letter. Spread out the long piece of white paper and paper. Fuck's sake. I began to read, making sure to pronounce each word clearly. Father, are you both doing well? First and foremost, I would like to say happy birthday and thank you for inviting me to your party. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive your son who is sending a letter due to unforeseen circumstances instead of paying you a visit in person. The needless formality continued for a little longer before finally delving into the main topic. It appears 2 years have passed since the last time I was in touch with you. These years have felt both short and long and have allowed me to think about many things. About his father-son relationship where we frequently quarrel. About this twisted relationship we end up scolding whenever we see each other. But more than enough time to mull it over. Pondered over why we always fought over even the pettiest things. Why both of us were so quick to anger whenever we came to a disagreement. And why we couldn't avoid these conflicts. Time and time again I tried to figure out why. Tried to grasp why you found me so detestable. And soon enough, after thinking it over while putting myself in your shoes, I began to understand your feelings to a certain degree. I began to understand what you wanted from me and what you expected from me. In short, Silverwhite paused momentarily. Waving did not last very long, despite hesitation to continue to speak. It appears that we are simply incompatible. A small moan escaped from the old man's mouth. For the past 2 years, I realized that much like you have your own ways of doing things, I have my own. We have conflicting values and beliefs, and neither of us is willing to compromise. Indeed, by cutting all off the communication between us, I believe both you and I will be able to lead happier lives. They say that some people are simply meant to clash with one another. Much like a relationship between a mother-in-law and a wife, hopeless relationships can always exist, but just end up despising one another no matter what. Father, perhaps you were born to end up in that sort of relationships. From now on, I ask of you to continue on your chosen path. Shall I press onward on mine, despite not being the one you would have favored? I've chosen to sever all my ties with you. I believe that will be the best for both of us. The android will act on my behalf and offer assistance to the best of her ability. Thank you for everything up until now. Sayonara, bitch. And like that, the letter ended. Eyes closed, the old man sat quietly in his chair, smiled bitterly as he digested the words from the letter. Now what is the new model looking like? I have suspicious feelings about that, or I just don't figure it out. And that's the end of everything we're gonna do with Lucy. I know there's more. There's 2 extras still hidden. I like how we get Father maybe to his senses, but we don't come. It's too late now. There's still some achievements that we just didn't do. There's a CG gallery. Apparently we're missing 3 pictures. Must be from the bonus scenes. This is all the main. Whoa. Not expecting this. Oh, it's all the different times a character and all the expressions she had. Oh, right. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this Lucy series, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Where we probably play Danganronpa or something, I'm not sure yet. My voice is also seeming to give up on me. Maybe it's just my tiredness, I don't know. It's been a long sleep, a long day, and I don't know. Time is rushing me. And I need to do stuff before time catches up to me. Well, until the next video, I hope you have a great time. And I'll see you all until then. Bye bye.